Hello everyone, my name is Floyd Baldwin, and today I'll be going over my informative speech. Have you ever went up a lift hill before? You look over the top, your heart racing, and you see nothing below you but a vertical drop? Well, when it comes to roller coasters, they are the peak of engineering, using both mathematics and physics in perfect synchronization. Now, I know most of you guys have ridden roller coasters before, at least dreamt of the rush, but once you guys learn the facts behind the roller coasters, they become that much more impressive. Every loop, turn, and hill is calculated with mathematical precision. Roller coasters are not just for entertainment, they're a marvelous machine. Now, the reason why I'm going over talking about roller coasters for my informative speech is because I've always been fascinated by roller coasters since I was young. I've done intensive research and, of course, intensive research into other roller coasters around the world since the past 12 years, I want to say. But today, I'll be going over the physics and mathematics behind the roller coasters, what makes roller coasters unique, and of course, most importantly, the safety behind roller coasters. All right, to get things started, let's talk about the physics and mathematics behind roller coasters. Now, when it comes to roller coasters, you always have that first lift hill or that first hill that you got to go over. That's where you get your negative G's from. At the top of that lift hill or hill, you got your most potential energy before it gets converted to kinetic energy, which is speed. For my example, I chose Kingda Ka. Kingda Ka was located in Great Adventure, which is Six Flags, New Jersey, same thing. I use this for my example because it has a 425 hill before a vertical drop. At the top of that hill, you experience the highest potential energy. Of course, at the bottom of the hill, you experience the kinetic energy or your negative G's. All right, okay, let's switch it around. Let's talk about the positive G's, your loops, your turns, and any intense element like that. All right, for my example, I like to point out the Incredible Hulk, which is located in the Islands of Adventure in Orlando. This roller coaster has multiple loops and different types of turns that exhibits positive G's. Also like to mention another thing that exhibits positive G's, which is the launch. The launch at the lift hill exhibits positive G's before going throughout the rest of the roller coaster. All right. Next thing I like to talk about when it comes to roller coasters is the unique elements or different types of roller coasters. Now, when we talk about roller coasters, we can split it up into two different sections. We got your steel coasters, and now you got your wooden coasters. All right. Most importantly, your steel coasters. That's where you get your more taller, faster, and smoother roller coasters throughout the world. All right. These coasters are very common and used a lot in different theme parks. One example I like to point out is Millennium Force. This roller coaster is located in Sandusky, Ohio, or Cedar Point. This roller coaster is very famous for how fast and how tall it goes, and the multiple turns it has, and the positive G's it brings onto a person. All right, now let's talk about its counterpart, the wooden roller coasters. All right, for my example, I'm using Beast. When it comes to wooden roller coasters, that's where you get your more classical, your more rigid, your more rougher roller coasters, but yet it's still enjoyable. The Beast holds the record for the longest wooden roller coaster in the world, yet it still holds that classical and rough feeling that every wooden roller coaster gives. All right. Now, of course, you can't have a roller coaster without its unique element, its standout element that sets it apart from any other roller coaster. For my example, I'm using a roller coaster located in Fuji-Q Highland, Japan, called Takabisha. When it comes to unique roller coasters, you need that standout attraction, that standout element that sets it apart from any other roller coaster. Those zero G rolls, those beyond vertical drops like Takabisha. This roller coaster exhibits a beyond vertical drop of 121 degrees, which used to be the record, and exhibits negative G's throughout the drop, more intense than any other drop in the world, of course. All right, now when we talk about roller coasters, of course we can't not talk about safety. When it comes to safety, not really what makes or break a roller coaster. How safe you can feel in a certain roller coaster depends on how good it is. All right. Of course, when we talk about safety in a roller coaster, you can't not talk about brakes. Of course, you can't have a roller coaster without brakes, or else something bad's gonna happen. Of course. For my example, I'm gonna use the LSM brakes used on Maverick. LSM brakes is a newer type of braking model that most coasters nowadays use. LSM, of course, standing for linear synchronized motors. These are magnetic motors that help slow down the train to a more efficient and smoother stop. You can think of it as like the new high-tech trains that use magnetic propulsion to help them stay fast or help them slow down efficiently. It's the same thing. All right, when also you talk about safety within roller coasters, you can't not talk about the restraints, the things that help you keep you in the roller coaster and not fly off. All right, there's usually two types of restraints. You got your lap restraints and you got your over-the-shoulder restraints. You usually use your lap restraints when it comes to more tamer, calmer roller coasters, or if you want to feel free within a roller coaster. Those are usually on your more tamer rides, like I said before. But then its counterpart is over-the-shoulder restraints. Those are the restraints that you use for more intense elements or loops, things that can help you stay within the roller coaster throughout those extreme elements. All right. Okay. When we talk about roller coasters, we got to talk about its maintenance, the tests that it goes through daily to make sure it's efficient at all times. All right. When we talk about maintenance, usually, okay, let me rewind it a little bit. Do you ever think about the reason why a coaster might shut down out of nowhere, or there's always a long line out of nowhere? Usually that's because of maintenance or maintenance tests that they go throughout the day or every day daily to make sure the track is up to code and is ready to run at all times. For my example, I'm using a more closer roller coaster located in San Antonio or Fiesta, Texas, called Poltergeist. This is a picture of maintenance testers make sure the ride is okay to ride. All right. And of course, when we talk about roller coasters, engineers don't look over the safety aspects to give more thrills. When it comes to roller coasters, they look for safety than precision. The precision is safety. All right. Now, in conclusion, roller coasters, of course, is a marvelous piece of machinery that I myself enjoy, and I hope you guys enjoy as well. Just knowing the facts behind the roller coasters just make them that much more impressive to the seer or the rider, or the guest, of course. I'm sorry. Each and every roller coaster has to go through an enormous amount of calculations of physics and both mathematics together. And of course, if you want to get that unique element, it's going to be that much more to separate them from any other roller coaster, of course. And of course, most of all, you can't not talk about safety when it comes to roller coasters. With all these aspects is what makes a roller coaster, and what makes them exciting. Now, after hearing this speech, I hope you can now know how a roller coaster can work efficiently and the science behind each and every one of them. I'd just like to say thank you for listening and have a great day.